Surprise! Today is my birthday, June 14th. It's 22 to 24 degrees Gemini. Geminis are mutable air. And today is the day of gutsy confrontation. I'm going to read the whole paragraph today because it is my birthday. It's for the other June 14th people. The day of gutsy confrontation. The determined and intense people born on June 14th are very sharp in observations and assessment of what's going on around them. They usually are strongly opinionated, loyal, and demonstrate great courage when fighting the good fight, the honorable battle. They are forceful and convincing when presenting their ideas and opinions. And because they understand human nature all too well, are capable of mercilessly exposing hypocrisy and pretense. The women born on this day are particularly forceful, both mentally and physically. The men may be no less strong, but tend to have an egotistical or dictatorial streak, which can create conflict for them with others. Less evolved June 14th men are capable of clever duplicity. Both male and female June 14th people have very strong critical leanings and can be merciless when in a satirical or lampooning mood. June 14th people are really tough, difficult to get around, or smooth talk. Once they have seen the goal ahead of them, they go for it. Generally, loyalty extends to their family first, second to their friends, and last to society. If attached to a leader or cause, they can become a most articulate spokesperson. They make very bad enemies indeed, and one will be foolish to antagonize them, for they know how to take revenge all too well. Difficulties and problems abound for the June 14th people, but they display remarkable expertise in managing them. Like experienced ball players, they know how to handle the intricacies of the game while keeping cool. Those born on this day must, however, be aware of dominating others in relationships. June 14th people often recognize problems way in advance and act on them, instead of giving their partners a chance to cope with things, even to fail, but learn from the experience. In this respect, they are at best overprotective and at worst compulsive. June 14 people value freedom of movement, both mental and physical freedom. To be imprisoned, detained, or even delayed is intolerable for them. Some June 14th people, the fear of being held against their own will can border on being a phobia. Those born on this day are intensely competitive and deeply enjoy winning. Indeed, they must avoid making every area of their life a power struggle. It is best that they restrict their aggression and competitive urges to outside areas of their personal relationships. They must also be aware of arrogance and overconfidence, particularly June 14th males, and pushing their luck too far. Today's advice for the June 14th people. Learn moderation and get your balancing act together. Remember to return the attentions of those who care for you. Watch your ego, lest it get out of control. Allow your mate to experience life too. Back off occasionally. Today's meditation is: happiness is what we fear most. Peace, somehow, is a luxury we cannot afford. Today's strengths are successful, gutsy, and ambitious. Today's weaknesses include overstressed, impatient, and domineering. Today's tarot card is the Temperance card. The 14th card of the Major Arcana is Temperance. The figure shown is a guardian angel who protects us and keeps us on an even keel. This is a wonderful message for June 14th people, as they should heed it. Those born on June 14th should especially avoid all forms of egotistical excess and cultivate their innate ability to heal themselves. Positively seen, temperance modifies passions in order to allow our truths to be learned and incorporated into our life. However, it also may indicate negative traits of moodiness, trendiness, and malleability. Happy birthday to Che Guevara and Steffi Graf and all my June 14th personal friends. Okay, this is the birthday book. I just turned 48 years old today. I got this book from a good friend, a female, when I turned 19 years old. For some reason, I gave her the impression I was into astrology back then, and she thought that this would be a good book for me to have. Thank you, Margarita, for this book. I still have it. This is actually like my third one. I lent it out over the years and never received it back, so something always called me to buy it again. This book served very well at parties, as a party trick, and kind of give people an insight of their sun sign, because this book is giving you the degrees of the sun and as it moves through the calendar year. June 14th is represented by the fact that it is in 22 to 24 degrees Gemini. That's why it's June 14th. It's not 23 degrees Gemini because it's June 14th. This is the astrological calendar that all clocks are made out of. The sun makes a complete rotation, and it is documented in this book in degrees, helping you to understand each sign, the order of each sign, modality of each sign, meaning whether it's cardinal, mutable, or fixed energy, meaning that's how we either start something, we transition something, and then we bring it into fruition. That is cardinal, that is mutable, that is fixed. In other words, it is conceive, believe, and then achieve. This is going to be a special video. I'm going to talk about quite a few things, and I'm going to break it up into shorts later for your enjoyment, since the short attention span of people to watch videos these days, especially ones like this, is very short. So I'm going to cover many different bases and break it up later into shorts and give you all these bits and pieces. These are all things that I have learned, know, or achieved on my journey. Thank you for those that have been watching me do these daily readings of the first couple paragraphs of the birthday book. So I know I just jumped into it one day and started to just record. But over the years, like I said, I would whip this book out at parties, would sit around. Every once in a while throughout the years, I would take it on plane trips, and that's how I learned that the astrology part of the sun moving through the 12 houses. But this book also correlates numerology and tarot cards and advice and meditation. It has sections and glossaries for the elements. So you have to understand that when I started looking at astrology, I didn't really understand how people looked at these things as all separate. They're all correlated. This is what I read every day. It tells you the sun sign, the day, gives a wonderful depiction of up to when this book was made of famous people or people of popularity that were born on this day. It shows you a tarot card. It gives you strengths for the day that you should look out for. It gives you weaknesses. This book almost served as just daily advice. Everybody has a different birthday, and it's cool to see each other's different birthday, but these are daily energies for the day. This is the daily energies that the sun goes through the years, through the seasons. This book has glossaries on the seasons as well. And I highly urge, I know nobody wants to pick up an actual book, but maybe you can download it. But for me to flip through this book, it tells you the different stages of each sign. Each sign has 3 different phases. There's 1, 2, 3 different Pisces. There's 1, 2, 3 different types of Aquarius. So you can believe this stuff or not. I had a really funny comment the other day. The guy said, "Can you imagine being that high?" You can't. I actually believe the shit I say. I live the shit I say. I have no problems in my life with my beliefs. This video is not for people who don't believe in themselves. So it's fine. You can leave all your comments as you want. These videos are for me and for those who want to understand the degrees and the energy of the sun for the day. If that correlates with your birthday, and if you find that it resonates, then good for you. Some people have thanked me and said that it's hit spot on over the years. I've had this book tell a friend of mine's wife that she likes to drink soup every day. And my friend jumped up and screamed and said, "What the fuck? What crazy?" And he's like, this is why you drink soup every day? I had a non-believer, read this, and he's like, "Okay, what's my birthday?" And each of these have a picture on the top of what, represents that day, as far as an artistic value. The guy was a non-believer. His wife was very spiritual. We opened the book. So, "What's your birthday?" We opened it up. There was a tennis racket on the top. I was like, "Shit, I've been playing tennis since I was 7. Yeah, these are coincidences and things like that, if you believe in coincidences. But, for people that resonate with my videos, know that we don't believe in coincidences. We believe in synchronicities. We believe in things that line up for a reason. We believe in, just signs that tell us we're on the right path." So that's the birthday book. And the birthday book, I have till October to finish my year out, and now we'll have a full chapter, or what do you call it, playlist of each day of the birthday book, and it'll be there for anybody to go back. If you don't want to look at the book and just want to hear me read the first couple paragraphs, you can at least know the degrees of where you were at. This is the start of when they say get to know yourself. This is a good start. You can look at all the videos you want and look at all the great philosophers that maybe have helped you get to different points. Guys like Alan Watts and Terence McKenna and Bob Proctor and Napoleon Hill and Eckhart, all those guys. They all got great stuff, but you got to put down the phone one day and you got to put it into practice. What I mean by put it into practice is go off your intuition. These people that watch my videos anyway, you know what intuition is. You've been running off of it this whole time. But when you pick up something that correlates your day or something that you've heard in your life that you thought, and you have a way to, say, it's not me, it's not just in my head. Something outside of me agrees with me. Things like that. And these paragraphs in these books do that. Today's my birthday. It's June 14th. Today's the day of gutsy confrontation. Uh, I, you see my character as far as me just reading a book, and that's one tongue of me. I wear many different hats, and I have many different tongues, as we all should. Uh, but anybody that knows me, that I might be a little gutsy, and the things I fight for uh, can be confrontational at times. Uh, it's funny. You see a little chicken standing in front of a big chicken. The day of gutsy confrontation. I don't wanna say everybody that is born on the same day acts the same. But your sun sign is your actions. This is all energy is potential. Everybody has the potential to act within their power or not in their power. If you're not acting in your power, these paragraphs in these books don't give you too much information about how shitty you can be. Most of this stuff's going to tell you how you can be in your power. And they'll touch on parts that, what these people might do if they're not. So I highly encourage you to stay within your power as far as your actions. We're talking about your actions. These are sun signs. This is not your moon sign, your reactions. It's not your ascending sign, which is what you are when you're not acting or reacting. This is going to all this sounds funny to people that don't understand the lingo. If you don't understand the lingo, if you don't understand certain words, and I might sound crazy and shit like that, this video ain't for you. This is how you know if some people want to know if you're spiritual or if you're on the right path. Like, what the fuck are you listening to? Are you listening to people that use words like resonate and Fibonacci into this and expand into that and actually care what season we're in and what type of elements are affecting our day-to-day lives and shit? What I mean by that? You're too watery? What's your natal chart look like? You get over emotional? You fucking crying all day? Huh? You got a overdeveloped throat chakra? You fucking talk too much? Figure out all this stuff. You got a overdeveloped root chakra? You always want to talk about where you come from and my people don't do this and people don't do that? Balance yourself. You want to ask who you are? Figure out what you are first. Then you can have the answer of who you are. So I started by asking, what am I? Okay, I'm a Gemini. Cool. Gemini, what are they known for? Use the index, use the glossary, use these words. Everything's relative and they all correlate with each other. You don't have to be totally spiritual, but if you believe you have a birthday, you believe that the sun was in a certain sign, and people don't have to be religious, superstitious, or spiritual. You say, oh, what's your sun sign? Oh, I'm a Gemini. Oh, I hear Geminis are two-faced. There's already stigmas. You've just been introduced and proved to yourself you have a certain amount of respect for where the sun is, and it develops this type of person. I'm a Gemini sun. I have Mercury in Gemini. These correlate to a person that can communicate well. Geminis are ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules the throat chakra, rules the communication sector. I've been known to communicate well my whole life. I have my own business and I have to communicate with my customers, and I have to sell my job. I don't walk around looking like this and people just throw money at me. I have to pay my bills through communication. We all pay our bills and live our lives through different forms, but I actually communicate as one of my talents. And that's because my actions, my sun sign, fell in Gemini. Geminis talk. They're also known for being good with their hands. I work with my hands. I talk well with my mouth. And that's what a Mercury conjuncting the sun in Gemini looks like. So what you see are my actions. And not everybody's going to have the same actions born on the same day. You have all these other signs and all these other placements that make your all your elements and make your composite of your your spirit's attributes. And this is how we walk around, how people see you, how you make your decisions, and whether or not that your life will be beneficial or not. So if this makes sense, then you're living in a world that understands that your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are not on a third dimensional plane. Each higher number rules over the lower number of planes, and we're watching our 3D right here. So if anybody was ever wondering if you were in the fourth dimension, we're all in the fourth dimension. We need our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. That's the plane the fourth dimension is, to control all the physical things here. That is called fourth dimensional thinking, recognizing the fact that that is the plane that allow all the action in the third dimensional world. Now, once you can look down on your fourth dimension, and then you can see where your thoughts are coming from, where your feelings and emotions are coming from, then you're now on the next floor and you're looking down on the fourth floor. That would put you into a fifth dimension. So these are my actions. When I read that book, I'm just reading. I'm just dictating, narrating. So what you see is actually just my ascending sign. You might see parts of my actions and my reactions bleeding out in between lines, the way I say things and things like that. But that's why probably you would know nothing about me unless I told you. And that's how it is with anybody. People aren't going to know what you know or what you are until you tell them. So, I'm a Gemini. I'm born on a day that shares with many people, but it goes to show that all people are not alike. We just have the potential to act the same sometimes. You've ran into people where you're like, man, you act like my homeboy, or you favor my homeboy, or there's something about your demeanor that reminds me of a girl I know. Whatever it is, there's only so many attributes and so many things under the sun that we're gonna recognize them. There's a million different games that can happen on a chessboard, but there's only so many pieces. So we recognize the moves. I have a lot of outer planets, not just inner planets, the same as other people. Fuck it, I'll say it. I have a lot of outer planets the same as Donald Trump. Okay, this is just a good example. I am nothing like Donald Trump. I don't like Donald Trump. I've had Donald Trump's birthday for a long time, since I was 19. I've never resonated with any of his beliefs. But I want to believe, I don't have my phone with me, but Uranus, no, not Uranus, Neptune, I don't want to say it. 3 outer planets the same. He doesn't have Mercury in Gemini, so he doesn't have a conjunction there. Maybe I'm not meant to share that yet. Probably not. So, my point is, you can have the same sun sign as another person and not be exactly the same, or have the same exact actions. Everything's potential. You can have outer planets, which move a lot slower, and you won't exactly be like that person. This is all potential to do things in your own way. So I have many planets that are in the same signs as people that obviously the total opposite of me. Whether I'm in my power or that person's in their power, it doesn't mean that we're going to do the same things or we are the same way. Me and Donald Trump were born years apart. He's 79. I'm 48. No, 47 now. When you get older, that shit happens. I know I look young. Some people say I act young. When you get to your mid 40s, you kind of forget. 47. I'm 47 now. It's hard to believe for myself. A lot of it has to do with genetics. A lot of it has to do with the way you think. So, this has been a June 14th video. I'm going to break this up. Might even make some more videos. I'm going to do some type of parade on my channel for myself since it's my birthday. And I'm going to open the floodgates. A lot of people are like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Just reads birthdays every day and tries to give everybody advice. This is the advice I give myself or take for myself. And I'm just sharing it. I use it, try to use it. Good advice doesn't come along much these days. As far as me having ambition and determination to get in front of a camera and talk about shit like this, I just feel that I have to do it. I'm urged to do it. There's many things in my chart that urge me to talk about spirituality and the way I see it and the way I've been watching other people see it. I've been reading tarot cards for quite a while, and I think it's wonderful. And most of my personal viewings, so I watch other readers, other gifted people read these cards and these pictures and depictions and channel energy from their angels and their ancestors and their higher self and God. And I'm proud of everybody, but I've also noticing a lot of different ways. I don't want to say anything wrong because I respect you all, but a lot of projection and a lot of the ways you guys are depicting these pictures. I'm not saying it's wrong or inaccurate. I just want you guys to reset a little bit and look at the pictures. I'm going to be reading more tarot cards and pointing out, how we all can look at the same thing and say something in a different way, but the energy has to match for these other people that can't read so that they can understand. This is how we pass the knowledge down. These are tarot cards. This is the visual aspect of what is seen. The Torah is the written aspect. The tarot is the visual. You don't have to agree with me. I correlate these words, my understandings for myself. I didn't hear these things from other people. A lot of the stuff I put together for myself. A lot of information that I want to do chalk up. Anybody that I would say that you want to listen to besides me, there's not a lot of people that have answers for gifted people. I want to say Dolo the Pilot Man has thousands of videos on all these different areas. There's actually nobody else that you can just click on. You're going to learn astrology. You're going to learn numerology. You're going to learn about the elements. You're going to learn about the Hermetic principles. You're going to learn about chakra systems. and in history, and also what's going on now. He likes to talk about that stuff. So shout out to Archangel Uriel, Dolo the Pilot Man, whatever fucking sign he said we could do. That shit means something. So shout out. So that's my video. As you can tell, I'm a little bit of a weirdo, a little bit off. Disclosure: this is for educational purposes only, or for entertaining purposes only. Again, this is my channel. This is my birthday. This is the shit that goes on in my head. It's shit I want to talk about. This is the extended version to June 14th. We're gonna have a parade today. We're gonna rain on your parade. That's what this is. When we talk about energy like rain on parade or open up the floodgates, I'm about to flood it, and you better grab one of each animal and get on your fucking boat and be prepared, because when you get washed away, you're gonna want one of each. When your world gets washed away, you're gonna want one of each animal energy to help build your new world. That's Noah's Ark. Is when there's so much water energy and so much flood of truth, and nobody was listening when you were building this boat, this spaceship, this well-manned ark, so that you can take with you what's important, not other people, but these animalistic energies within us that guide us through these floodwaters, so that when the tide lowers, that we can have an environment to walk on, to keep nature going, our natures. So I'm gonna break this up into those different parts. There's a lot more. I've been rambling. It's kind of what I do. I hope you liked the video. So happy birthday to me. I'm gonna think about other topics and subjects and break them down. I have a lot to share. So you're gonna be seeing some more. Happy birthday, June 14, people. Except you, Donald Trump. Fuck you.